everybody? Hope everybody's awesome today. Thank you for tuning in into another episode of Got Art. This is our second episode, and we have a very awesome show today. And I hope y'all can learn a lot from this girl. She's a badass painter, and she's gone through a lot in her life. And talking to her has made me feel that sometimes we put some excuses to not do what we love. And I hope you can take her advices and learn that if you really love something, just go for it and put a wall in front of it and just kick through it. All right. So we're gonna have Paige with us today. I picked her, or I asked her to join us because she has a talent and an eye for what fantasy should look like, and I really enjoy her work and how fantasy should look. So I hope that we can go through this show today and learn a lot from her, and this is her here right now. So say hi, Paige, and welcome to Got Art.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me.
So she's a Twitch streamer. So in case you guys wanna follow her, I've watched a couple of her shows. They're really good, and you learn a lot from her. So again, thank you for joining us, and I hope this could be a very nice experience for everybody, and we can see some of your artwork and learn a little bit from you.
I'm all for it.
Awesomeness. So let's start right ahead, and I want to go through the questions that I had for you. And the first question I want to go through is, how did you end up in art, and why digital?
Well, my family is really artistic and always has been for like generations and generations. So it's kind of like you pop out and you're given a paintbrush or a pencil and told to go at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a couple years ago, I got diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic, and I was in the ICU for like a week and a half. My heart stopped a few times. I lost a lot of fine motor skills. It was really traumatic, and I couldn't get things to go on paper like they used to, and it was really kind of a really frustrating time in my life. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try digital because I'd just been starting to touch into it, and being able to control Z and to be able to enlarge and, move stuff around and
Mm-hmm.
have that power really helped me get back into my art in general. So
And I heard, I've seen a couple of people go about and say, you know what, I can't paint because my hand is not steady and everything just wobbles around, and, I'm not good at art. And my mom is one of them. My dad, he's a great artist. He paints and all that. And I came out as a half an artist. But she always says that she can't draw a straight line. And I say, you know what, having a steady hand is not what makes an artist good. It's,
I
yeah.
yeah, I can't draw a straight line either, but shift and you can. Wow, is magic.
Wait, do that again. No, let's do that again.
Woo!
There you go. That's a straight line right there.
And honestly, it doesn't matter if you can draw a straight line. If you can just try to train your eye to do kind of sort of what you want, it's okay. Anyone can be an artist. I mean, we all do it as a kid, right? It's just translating that to adulthood and like, yeah, I got this.
For sure.
But a lot of people forget.
And it's a little practice too. I mean, you got to train your muscles to go and do what you want. I mean, nobody's born being an athlete. Nobody's born being a singer or an artist or a musician. It's what you put the time into it. And if you put the enough effort, your body and your brain is going to go like, you know what? I kind of can do this. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So, so digital is the means for everybody to be able to do art. And in my experience, if you go back to pen and paper, it's so hard because I tried and it's just painful. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I did it first, and then I really buckled down on my university courses. Like I've learned charcoal and everything, and I found that I could really translate my paintings done in oil and acrylic to digital, and I found that my digital work actually got stronger for it after I got the confidence again in digital to try it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really think everybody should try pen and paper and go back to it sometimes. Don't always stick to digital. It's a good practice to try to don't have those tools to erase, shift, straight line, and those kind of tools that help you do awesome artwork. So my second question to you, Paige, is: did you ever feel anxiety over your art, and how did you overcome it to be able to publish your work?
Oh yeah, it's all the time, every time. If you don't feel anxiety, I think it's, well, at least for me, it's not it's every time. It's part of my process for sure. A lot of artists have this thing. My teacher was telling me about it. It's like you feel like you're a fraud, and I feel
Hmm.
like most of the people I've talked to and know feel the same way. Like you could be amazing at art and you're still like, me, I'm not an artist. I'm like, I'm
Right.
just an art student having fun. Like I might not be an artist, but I am, and it's okay. And it's okay to be worried about your work and putting it out there. And it's really hard getting like super awful critiques, but they will help you grow and you will get better because of them. So,
For sure. And how did you overcome it to end up publishing your work? Because this question just came out because I myself I feel a bit freaked out about publishing anything I do, and I've people have said, oh, you can you can publish it. It's real good. It's actually good. You can publish it. It's nice. But I'm like, no, it's not good enough. I need to study more. And then I see all these people that keep saying the same thing I'm saying. It's like I need to study more. I need more, experience and whatnot. And then I see other people that actually draw, and I wouldn't say worse. It's just a different style, but it's there and it's art, and they are out there like Paige. And I feel like why can't someone like me go out for it and not be afraid? So how did you overcome it?
well, a lot of it was when I lost my ability to create. I was like, okay, you know what? I'll put it out. But I remember a while ago when I posted my very first thing on Instagram, I got torn to shreds. And it was hard. It was like I was 16, 17, just a little kid, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm never gonna art again. How dare this happen?" Like I'm terrible. But then I looked at it and I was like, "You know what? These guys are invested in my art. They're
Mm-hmm.
actually giving me some not too bad ideas here." And
Mm-hmm.
my next one I posted because it took a while tossing and turning, having to really not wanting to do it, but I did it, and the next one got better feedback, and it kept growing from there. And I still get negative feedback all the time. And I'm like, yes, please invest in my art. Tell me what to do, how to get better. How can I get you on my side now? So,
Man, again, I feel it's like you have to jump in there, right? That's like the whole thing, and
like
just
jumping in a lake, yeah, just start doing it. Start posting. Take everything with a grain of salt. Not everyone's gonna like your work because art is in the eye of the beholder, like beauty.
right, for sure.
Some people might think, oh, you're terrible, you're garbage, but that other person's gonna like you, and that other one person is gonna show his friends that might, or their friends that might like you, and it's gonna be okay. Just trust yourself and trust your art, and you will grow and you will change. You will get there in
That's
time. And don't compare yourself to other artists.
oh,
Try really hard not to do that.
that's the hardest thing to not do. Like you
It
see
is. It's
everybody else and you go like, my God, he's so cool, and you look at your stuff and you're like, oh my God, this is so bad. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, you can't compare yourself, and I agree with you, and that's a really good advice. And so you heard it, guys. Don't look at others like a wall in front of you. That's something else. Oh my God, look at that guy. No one's gonna like my art because they like theirs. There's a knife for everything out there, and you just need to drop yourself in. And I'm gonna myself included. I'm gonna start posting stuff, and I'm gonna
Wicked.
go against the fear I have, and I hope a bunch of you follow me. And it's you just
And
gotta
tag
throw
me,
yourself.
please.
Well, hopefully we can do a bunch of these and just keep posting stuff.
I want to see it.
Oh yeah, I'll tag you.
Yeah. All of you. Do it.
All right. So I want to go ahead and work on our third question, but I want Paige to start doodling on something she showed me she was gonna work on here, and
All right. Well, I
uh,
kind of set
yep.
this up to show the workflow and everything together because
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of slow at line art and everything. So I went through and I got most of it started and set it up last night to go.
Awesomeness.
So for your
So
third question.
yeah. So the third question, as you know, is what's your workflow, and what's your workflow when creating a fantasy piece?
Well, first you want to think about kind of what you want to do, and then you want to start doing thumbnails. I really like to use post-it notes. I'll use this kind of setup too here. But I like to use post-it notes and kind of stick them all around the room. This was just a simple portrait one. It's not like a huge fantasy scape, so it didn't have a bunch of scenery to figure out and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I just did a couple of them. I had a really cool opportunity to take a bunch of photos of a really good friend of mine, and she's like this fantastic model, and she gave me a lot of cool poses. So I went through ones of that photo shoot that I liked the pose of, and I just kind of went from there to build this character and get the reference. I think I've got that in here if I go to thumbnails. Come back.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so you want to find reference. I know a lot of people are like, you can't use reference, but you sure freaking can, especially if you take it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of, or you can find it on Google. Google's fine. So I got this really cool one I took of Alex. It's all sized. Hold on. And I used it I popped it up here, made it go away while I was drawing, brought it back, made it go away,
Right.
brought it back, that kind of stuff to bring it. And then I knew I wanted to have these floating lanterns kind of thing. So I went and I found some floating lanterns. And again, oh, you're tiny. That's not how I drew them a little bigger. So I was like, I like these floating lanterns. So I did the same thing. I popped them in and started doodling and took them away and, continued
Mm-hmm.
that until I got kind of the feel I wanted. And I knew I wanted to set up the direction because for anything, storytelling is basically going to sell your piece, right?
Right.
So I knew I wanted to have the lanterns going this way. Oh, that's not my pen tool. I knew I wanted to have them going this way. And I knew I also wanted them to have them going back for directions.
Okay.
So I went through and did that. And then you trace over again. You get that going the way you more details.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do it again and again and again until you finally get kind of clean line work here. And I really like this pen tool to help me with it. I've found it, especially
Nice.
because I have so many issues. I just find this one is super good at getting where you need to go, and it's got a lot of nice tricks. But because I have so many problems with keeping steady from being diabetic and all that kind of crap, it's really nice just to have an aid in getting these tools. And it's not terribly expensive either. It's like I think 35 USD. So it saved me a lot of work.
Well, for you guys that don't use Photoshop, there's other programs that offer this tool. For example, I think Autodesk has a lazy tool as well. Affinity Photo has a lazy tool. So there's other softwares out there that do have these kind of tools. Just might not have the same name, but it's a great tool. I've used it before, and in my experience, I'm horrible at vector because I can't draw a straight line, and I'm a sketcher, so I throw a bunch of lines. And this tool is amazing because you can just go slowly and make sure the lines stays where you want it to go and does nice curves and all that, and it's beautiful for vector work, but also for sketching.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you want to start kind of thinking about your lines for your character. I like to use a nice gray just to fill it in the character
Mm-hmm.
so I can cheat later. It's not really cheating. There's no cheating in art. But you can hit control unless you're like plagiarizing. You hit control and you get your nice marching ants, right?
Right.
And this gives you the opportunity to be like, you're gonna have skin color or any color really just to show. I did a lot of this last night because I am super slow at picking stuff and I didn't want to take forever in our time crunch. And the color will only go where you tell it to.
Right.
So it's not going to go outside of your drawing. It's going to help you keep things a little bit cleaner. I have notoriously messy paintings because I like being painterly and I like working fast. And most of my stuff are just studies. So I'm like, I'm just going to throw some stuff on a paper or on here and see what happens. So eventually
Oh, that's
you're going to get
badass.
something a little like that, right?
That's pretty cool.
Control D will get rid of your marching ants. If you're like, go away, they're not
Right.
going away. It's Control D. So then the next step is to start your shadow block. So you're going to duplicate this layer. Doesn't matter what you call it right now because you're
Mm-hmm.
going to never look at it. Well, you might look at it again, but hit multiply and that's going to give you this nice shadow, right?
Yep.
Then you're going to hit this little like flag looking thing down here. I don't know what it's called. It's just
I think
there's
that's the
no,
mask layer.
yep. Thank you. The flag looking thing. And you can paint your highlights and I like to go the other way around. I like to paint my shadows the first time, so I just kind of get it all to go away. Be gone. Oh no, I made it angry. Oh no.
It's getting there. It's getting
It's
there.
thinking. It's thinking. There we
There
go.
you go.
No, it's still thinking. It's still angry. It's like, I hate you.
There you go. It's back.
Using a big tool will do that there. It needs some time to think.
Yeah.
You can just pick a nice soft brush.
That's Photoshop for you guys, so don't worry. It's like it happens to the best of us that use Photoshop.
Yeah, it's a great tool. It's a lot of fun. And then I pull my opacity down a little bit just so I can really
Mm-hmm.
work in it. And I just kind of, why are you not doing what I want you? Because I'm using black. Meh, you got to use the white. And then you
Right,
can
right,
start
right.
roughing in where you want your shadows to go. I have a lot of that to still do, but you can be like, yeah, I'm gonna have some shadow here, or look right here. And you can keep building that until you get something kind of like that going.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then I have a spider on her. I did that one
That's
with
great.
all the same steps, just the line work and then going through. And he's still super rough. I wanted to keep this one kind of cartoony anyway, so it's not a terrible idea. So I'm not hating it too much.
Oh,
And
I
then you
love the
want,
shadow on the spider. It's really neat.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's fun. Then again, you have that nice shot your base there. Where'd that go?
Mm-hmm.
Make some color blocks. You have your nice base that you can go select stuff, and you can keep your lines clean with the control. Come here, and you can go up. And then we're gonna get some lights going. So you go here, and a lot of I find a lot of Photoshop artists just knowing how to do it. It's kind of like point and shoot. Let's turn the opacity up again. It looks really scary. I know. You're like, what are you doing? Stop it. But
Yeah, sometimes when you're doing artwork, and I feel it happens to a lot of people. I like to watch one of the time lapse videos a lot because it helps me um, understand that art starts like a building when you're building a structure or something. Probably said this in the last show, but I mean I think it's a great reference because building a house or a building is messy. It's
yeah,
it's ugly. You'll have a bunch of issues. Everything is everywhere. It doesn't look like a house until you start refining the edges. So it should look messy, and it's fine. But after you start doing the refinement, you're gonna see things come to life, and you have to have vision. That's where art comes to life when you have the vision before the painting takes the form that you're trying to portray.
absolutely. So this one, we just put a bunch of highlights on it, and that's just the white and using the overlay. A lot of it for color blocking and shadow blocking and light
Mm-hmm.
blocking is multiply and overlay because overlay makes things look brighter and multiply just takes whatever you do on top of it and makes it the same color, just darker. So you can actually use your black. I know a lot of people are like, don't use black, it's bad, but it's actually really not. It's good, it helps.
Well, it depends on what blending mode you are. So
Yeah,
for
because when I
sure.
multiply this isn't going to be black anymore. It's just going to
Mm-hmm.
be the darkest color of that it can be. Because you hit multiply and then you pull down the opacity. You don't leave it like that.
Right, of
And
course.
then look, instant shadows.
There you go.
And it helps a lot if you're doing shell shading,
Mm-hmm.
shading,
Mm-hmm.
planning out things really nice and quick. Actually, kind of like that. And then eventually you're going to get something like that. You're going to go through and keep cleaning up as well, right?
Right.
Then yeah, and then you just keep going and blending and fixing stuff. We'll do some of that while we talk.
So,
So that's where I left.
another question I want to go through as you go through the process is, I see you paint a lot of fantasy, and I get the feeling of fantasy in every painting that I've seen from you, and I think that's something a lot of people try to achieve, but they don't have the background of environment creation and all those type of things, and you see a unicorn standing in front of a mall, and it looks more like a funny thing, not a fantasy image. So the question is, what elements make a piece feel like a fantasy world?
Fantasy world. Well, first of all, it's storytelling. You want to make sure you're always incorporating some kind of story in your work. It doesn't even matter. This one is just one of my friend's D&D characters that she wanted me to paint, and there's a story for you as it is, right? Her story.
Right.
So she's got this pet spider. She talks to ghosts, whatever. So I knew I wanted to do kind of a dark background and everything for her. And I knew that she had to have a spider, which was horrifying. Not my favorite thing ever to draw. And it sure as heck wasn't my favorite thing to look up because there's things that jump at you when you Google spiders, and I cried a little bit. But it's all about just and your composition is really important, knowing your rule of thirds, where people are going to be looking, where you want people to look, especially leading lines, tricking people to maybe seeing something that maybe not should be there. Like I've
Hmm.
got that one where I had to take a photo of the Rocky Mountains, and then I painted my unicorn and my mermaid into it, but I wanted people to really, it was only going to be like teeny. It was like 4 by 4 inches or something in an elevator. And I wanted people to really have to get in there to see what the heck's going on. So I made her fin kind of look weird. It looks like a butterfly or a fish. I've had a couple people say it and they're not exactly sure what it is. I'm like, yes, it's perfect. You're not supposed to know. So that way they have to actually get really and they're like, oh my God, it's a mermaid. I'm like, yes, it is. Thanks. You found it. A plus.
Yeah, I love that image. It's pretty cool.
It's really fun. I'm just starting to learn photography, so it's really cool to be able to pull it in there and figure that out.
So a question I was gonna ask you about this image. So you took this picture, right?
Hold on, I can't see.
Oh,
Which one?
the picture of the unicorn.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I took
Okay,
it,
so
yeah.
that's like somewhere where around you live. You live like in a place around those mountains.
Yeah, that's like Louise.
That is just so badass.
We had to go and take the most cliche photo that we could possibly find for this assignment. And so I was stalking tourists and standing exactly where they were standing. And they're like, who is this crazy chick? I was like, hi, just keep doing what you're doing. So I could try to take photos exactly as they were taking it. And this one popped up probably 5 or 6 times. So like, okay, this is the one we're going to use then.
That is a crazy picture. I love the scenery there. Man, I feel like I want to move there
Oh, it's
now.
beautiful. Canada is just an amazing place to be.
It is for sure. Well, I'm like 5 hours away. I'm in Michigan, so
Pretty too.
yeah. Well, we don't have mountains,
That's true. Mountains
so
are kind of
yeah,
a selling point for sure.
it's kind of flat. We get the snow, which is flat snow.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
all
it's pretty. We have a lot of forests.
forests are nice. Forests are. I really like to draw forest scenes too because they're gorgeous.
Oh, I have a guy which I hope is gonna be in the show soon. He makes the most amazing forest paintings, and it's just crazy beautiful to do. Maybe we can get you guys to do a jam one day.
I would love that. Oops,
For
that's not
sure.
what the heck. Control C.
Okay, so storytelling, creating the environment, and how would you go about to tell viewers what elements do you search or what I'm missing the word references which you use
Reference?
that would help you create a fantasy world and jumpstart that storytelling for the art that you're trying to portray.
Google. If you can't have anything else, Google will never fail you.
And it's not cheating, right?
No,
It's never
looking at
cheating.
pictures is never cheating unless you're like taking this picture particularly that I'm making right now. Like I did all of it. That's cheating. But there isn't cheating like to go into Google and find their Shutterstock image and be like, "Hey, I really like this person's face. I want to draw it." Do it. Like it's not. You're not going to go to jail.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I think people are some artists are a bit afraid of losing their work, and they put a lot of work to it, and they're like in love with it. Of course, I mean you love it, you did your work. It's like you put the effort in there, but it's your work, and no one can replicate your work unless they actually take the same work that you did, do nothing
Yeah.
to it, and then just say it's mine. And
Yeah,
if
which does happen more
yeah,
than you think.
but you can go ahead and like, you know what? How about you do that again? And they
Yeah.
won't be able to because it's your work, it's your artwork, and it has your signature not only there but all over it. So, Paige, I'm gonna let you go through this and finish a little bit more. I want to thank everybody for joining, and we're gonna be next week again. We're gonna have a guy who has a badass style, which is like comic kind of style.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's pretty. He's awesome in line work. So I'm gonna post a little bit of his artwork soon. And again, thank you everybody for joining. I hope we can do this every
thanks,
week.
guys.
And a little like taste of what we're working on. I think next week or the next after or the week after, I'm gonna post obviously a calendar thing, but we're gonna have a live jam. I'm gonna have two other artists with me. And we're gonna go and hit a sketch and work live with everybody to get three different styles out of the same sketch. So it's gonna be an art jam, and I hope a lot of
That
you
sounds
can
like a
join us.
lot of fun.
Yeah. I hope that I can do one every month, but I mean, if we got viewers, we got more people joining in, we can start doing them weekly and so on. So if you love the show and you liked it, please leave a comment, just like us, share it, tell your friends. If you know an artist or you are an artist or you want to join the show, let me help you put your artwork out there, and let me be part of your growth. And this is the most important thing. This is why I'm doing this. Let me learn from you, because if I learn from you, I can help others learn, and that's like the whole main thing of this thing. I want to ask the right questions, so others are thinking, you know what, I would like to know this thing, then they can know. So again, appreciate it, Paige. Thank you so much. Keep doing
Thank
the
you for
work.
having
I'm
me.
gonna put a little bit of music until the end of the show, so they can get a little bit of feel of what you're doing. All right?
Sure, sounds good.
Awesome, guys. Thank you, and let me know. You know what? If you think Paige got some art.
Ah,
All right, guys. This is the end of the show. Thank you again for joining. Hopefully, we can see you next
thanks for
week.
having me.
And Paige, awesome work. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so much.
yeah, thank you. And let's do this again.
Absolutely, it was a blast. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Thank you again. Leave your comments, like the page, and see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.